On this week's episode of Image Autopsy, we'll be covering one of the most iconic bucks we have ever hunted. With years of data, but only seeing him on the hoof twice, we heavily relied on trail cameras to target and pinpoint this buck's movements. This is the Image Autopsy for Geronimo. The farm we're looking at is about 110 acres. It's comprised about 50% agriculture, 40% timber, and 10% set aside. We typically run 8 to 10 cameras on this property year-round. As we ran cameras on this property, Geronimo became a celebrity. However, most of the photos were being taken after dark. Even though he was frequently on our property and on our trail cameras, we never had an opportunity or an encounter with him the first year we hunted him. As that season came to a close, we looked at all of our camera data and realized we did not get one single photo of this buck on the south half of our farm. Going into the following year, again, he showed on camera and even with higher frequency than the year before, holding his pattern to the northern half of the farm we hunted him on. As we hunted him that season, we began to use cameras to tighten in on his core area. We primarily used 3 cameras to pinpoint his movements. 2 cameras were used along field entrances off of his bedding, and 1 camera was used on one of his scrape lines. The cameras on the field edges were set to high sensitivity and 3 image burst. This made sure we did not miss him coming or leaving the field. The camera that was on his scrape line, we had set to video mode with 30-second video intervals. This allowed us to see and read his body language, as well as note the way that he approached the scrape. So what is the takeaway from this data? Geronimo had a very tight core area and was extremely reclusive. Even though the farm was 110 acres, in order for us to have an opportunity at this buck, we were really looking at hunting him on about 30 of the 110 acres. By knowing this, we understood how sensitive we had to be with the pressure in that area of the farm. And we only checked our cameras either during the rain or on our way in or out to hunt this buck. All in all, using cameras to locate and understand how small of a home range this buck had led to his demise and ultimately his harvest. See that deer? There's a deer right there. Stop. One sec. Get some good film up on one sec. One sec. I gotta make sure he's focused. Whenever you want him, go for it. Should I do it? You want me to do it? Drop it. You got him. You smoked him. I can't believe that just happened. I've never. I shot him like that's almost identical to where I missed him with my bow. I mean, literally like textbook. I mean, dude, I can't believe it.
Oh my God, he's dead right over the hill over there. You know he is. You pinned him shoulder blades together.
Yeah, that's why we do it, man. I'll never forget this ever. Wow. I'm very rarely speechless. Usually I have too much to say. Oh my gosh. This is Geronimo. This is the buck that I lost sleep over. See my free haircut I gave him? I don't know really how to explain or share this emotion. I said it before, but if I could turn that feeling into a pill, into a drink, I wouldn't have to work another day in my life. You as human beings, you set goals, you set landmarks and achievements that you want to make, and for me, this is probably one of the biggest ones that I have to date, and that feeling is something that doesn't fade, and that's why we end up and eventually do it. Yes, it was a great deer, and the story of this is one of the best stories we've ever been able to put together as a company and as a team. You know, all the way as a 4-year-old, watching him grow, mature, thinking he was gone. He comes back, we rename him, and then the misfortune of missing him, it'll be a hard one to top, and this is one that will be in the books forever.